Go, Clint. So, Clint, this is what I want to know from you, because you made the case. Oklahoma gets up, scraps the rest of the way out, wins the Big 12 championship. And you're right. They do have a legacy in the playoffs. I think except for Alabama, they've been there the most. How noisy is their case? Or if Oklahoma State wins out undefeated. Now, if we're going to point to a best win, it's in front of us because they still got to play Baylor. They got to play OU. Does the Big 12, and even though we keep dropping other programs, 4 lost teams in there and telling them that they could take it, is the Big 12 still in play for the playoffs?
Absolutely. I mean, look, you're talking about OU, who's got a lot of football left. I mean, they still got to play Oklahoma State. So they could finish up 11-1 with a conference championship, 12-1 with a conference championship. Absolutely, they're in that conversation, man. I mean, because here's what we hadn't talked about, G. I don't want to. I'll get back to the Big 12, but here's what we hadn't talked about. It's more than likely going to be a 2-loss Bama when we get down to the Final Four. And so, what do you do with a 2-loss Bama at that time when you've got a 1-loss Oklahoma State or a 1-loss Oklahoma or a 1-loss Michigan State or Michigan or Ohio State? How does that play into the fact? So yes, I would say that. I'm just here to tell you, brother. OU is going to be in this mix if they end the season with 1 loss. They're going to be in the mix, in the thick of things.
I think realistically speaking, you make the cutoff somewhere between 8 and 10, and all of those teams
above 8 and 10. Notre Dame, 8 or 9 right now.
If you're in the top 10, you have a shot right now because of the remaining schedules that are left. And I think you make a great point, Clint, about because if they put them in, that'd be the first 2-loss team they ever put in.
Yeah.
So what precedent are you setting with that, right? So if you can't take a 2-loss Alabama, and now you take Georgia, now there's really 3 spots that you're swinging, right? And like you said, so I really think if you're hanging in that top 10 with the remaining games on the schedule, if you go and look at all those teams and who they're playing, there's some of those matchups within that top 10. I think if you're in that top 10 leading up to the last couple weeks of the season here, you're in the discussion. You still got a shot.
I'm trying.
Hey, G, can I call my shot right now for OU? And I'm not an OU fan.
Let me answer Hack's point. I just had to look that up. No 2-loss team has ever been selected for the Final Four. So just to answer Hack's point, and it could be a first, but no 2-loss team has ever done it. Go ahead.
But hell, I mean, I think in LSU's championship in was it 5 or 7? They were a 2-loss football team and got to the championship game. But I know that wasn't the college football playoffs. Yeah. I'm not. I wasn't talking about the college. I'm just talking about a national champion that had 2 losses.
Yeah,
I don't know how many times the hell that's happened. But
yeah, I think Bama's done that. I think LSU's done that. So that has happened. The killer part is there's 5 crowns. A couple crowns really just don't have that much weight. Pac-12. ACC, just go on and enjoy what you guys are doing before the season. But really, it's the 3 conferences and then Cincinnati. So OU comes through with its crown, and they keep trying to put so much pressure on a conference championship, a conference champion. Big Ten's in, SEC's in, here's Cincinnati, and they represent the rest of the globe that's not royalty. Here they come. But I think Oklahoma and Cincinnati, well, really, it's the Big 12. I don't really look at it as Oklahoma because Oklahoma State, an undefeated Oklahoma State, let's just run past some scenarios, versus
Oklahoma State has 1 loss. They lost to Iowa State.
Oh, so they're not undefeated.
Nope.
There are no undefeated Big 12 teams.
Nope.
No.
Oh, well, what are we talking about? I thought Oklahoma State was undefeated.
Nope.
A 2-loss Big 12 team is out. Who's the strongest case, Clint? Who's your best rep right now? A one-loss Baylor holding up their resume versus everybody else, or a one-loss Oklahoma? Which one can step out of the tornado alley and represent a resume that's national?
Baylor's already lost 2. The only way the Big 12 gets anybody in is if Oklahoma State or OU go undefeated the rest of the way and end with 1 loss. It's the only way.
It's on the state of Oklahoma.
It's on the state of Oklahoma. It's those 2 teams that can potentially finish. They got enough football left ahead of them, and they can potentially finish with just one loss and a couple of quote unquote signature wins, if you will, down the stretch here.
So let me throw this to both of you, because it's both of your backyards. If the state of Michigan has a 2-loss team and they both played close, they both got to play Ohio State. Ohio State gets both of them, but they get them in overtime, whichever one. That team turns and looks at an Oklahoma team that just wobbled through bar to bar to bar to bar, and here they are. What do you think the committee would do there for that 4th seed? Automatic Big 12 championship, or would they step back and say, nah, you couldn't come up north and do what these guys are doing?
I think Trevor Knight's going to stumble in and take Katy Perry up out of that joint. You know, I think that Big 12 is going to walk in and sit in that old 4 chair all day long, brethren. Ain't no doubt about it. Hey, because check this out, G. We're Notre Dame, no conference affiliation. Hell, they're out because Cincinnati beat them. So that's one more. That's one more chip that's out.
Yep.
So yeah, man. I mean, I think OU, like you said, OU's gonna stumble in that bar, and Katie's gonna come off the stage, baby. She's gonna be in that 4 chair, no question about it.
Yep, that's gonna be amazing. If you're looking for ways to skip the trip to the post office and dodge all the hectic holiday shopping traffic, like Clint Sterner, why not save time and money with Stamps.com? Stamps.com lets you compare rates, print labels, access exclusive discounts on UPS and USPS services all year long. It just makes sense, especially if your business sends more mail and packages during the holiday. Whether you're selling online or running on office or a side hustle, Stamps.com can save you so much time, money, and stress during the holidays. How? By allowing you to access all the post office, USPS, shipping services you need without taking the trip and getting a discount you can't find anywhere else. Like up to 40% off USPS rates and 76% off UPS. In 2021, if you're still going to the post office instead of using Stamps.com, it's like taking the stairs instead of riding the elevator. Just going up a couple of floors. Sure, take the steps. Walking up 30 flights a day, you could use a break. And if you spend more time than a few minutes a week dealing with mail and shipping, Stamps.com is your lifesaver. You'll save so much time and money, you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. So join Stamps.com, save time, save money this holiday season. Sign up with the promo code DARK, that's all caps, for After Dark Show, Phil to 12, for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage, and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com like Christian Hackenberg does. Click the microphone at the top of the page and enter the code DARK, all caps, for Stamps.com.